Every year, smartphone manufacturers make a new iteration of their flagships. Sony is trying to stand out in the Android market by implementing a 6-month refresh cycle, so let's find out if their 2014 flagship still stacks up compared to the latest from Samsung and LG. I'm Kevin Riazzi, and welcome to my full video review of the Sony Xperia Z3. Let's start off with design. The Z3 is a very thin smartphone, and like many of its recent competitors, it's made of glass and aluminum. The white model that I have looks very premium and minimalistic, with a metal trim around the phone and metallic plastic on the edges to prevent scratches and dents. The ports are all covered by flaps for a good reason, which we'll talk about later. They're easily accessible, just remove the flap which is attached by a plastic cable. These flaps are present because the phone has an IP68 dust and waterproof certification, meaning the device is dustproof and can survive underwater for up to 30 minutes at 1 meter. The volume rockers and power button feel very tactile and high quality, and their placement is also perfect for my small hands. On the sides we find all of the small ports, including the micro SD card slot and micro USB charging port, and on the top we have a 3.5mm headphone jack. What I didn't expect to find was a dedicated camera shutter and quick access button. I did not use this very frequently, but it's a really nice addition, and this leads us to a next topic, the camera. The 20.7 megapixel rear camera is capable of shooting 4K at 30 frames, 1080p at 60 frames, and even 720p at 120 frames per second. The front camera is 2.2 megapixels and capable of shooting 1080p video at 30 frames per second. With the Exmor RS sensor, Bion Z processor, and Sony G lens, you would expect the camera to have excellent performance undoubtedly, and it does. Low-light shots were very impressive, and even the camera interface was clean and simple and really nice to use. Videos taken on the Z3 were also really nice, and autofocus was outstanding. The rear flash is very good, and that's really important to me since I always use my phone in the dark as a flashlight. Performance in the Snapdragon 801 is very impressive. Games like Asphalt 8 and Gangster Vegas run very smoothly, and the phone does not get hot or lag at all. I downloaded the Google Now launcher, and I've been very happy with this user interface. Battery life on the Z3 was amazing. The 3100 mAh battery got me over 4 hours of screen on time with full brightness and heavy use, which is much more impressive than my Samsung Galaxy S6 and even the LG G4. This is really impressive, considering the Z3 is packing a 5.2-inch 1080p IPS display with a PPI of 424. And that may not match the density of the Galaxy S6 or LG G4 display, but it's still good enough that I can't distinguish individual pixels from up close. The front-firing speakers are surprisingly good. With a slight adjustment in the EQ, you can get these to a really loud volume. Sony has also included some really awesome features like NFC, the wrist loop, but the biggest selling feature of this phone is the waterproof certification. This will come in handy for a lot of people who are not super careful with their smartphones or just want some extra assurance that their device is super durable. Overall, the Xperia Z3 is still a great smartphone, and even with the release of the Z3 Plus coming up, I think it's worth a second look at. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, please drop a like below, and also leave me a comment telling me how I can improve in these videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.